All right, welcome back to the 80 Star Basketball Channel, the only star basketball channel to have on Nick from Sports Card Madness to kind of talk about the 86 Fleer and the Star 101. I really like Sports Card Madness. You know, he does a lot of stuff. He looks into things, he digs, and he's doing a lot of work with the CT scanning, which we talk about, and near the end, and just kind of for what he's doing. But I love his sense of humor, and he always kind of pokes fun at it, and sometimes even pokes fun at me or something. It's just cool. He's funny, and I thought that he kind of represents a group that's one of the reasons why I wanted to have him on. You know, he grew up 86 Fleer, it was just around. He actually didn't even know about the star card. He wasn't really in it. He's an autograph collector, and now that's what he'll talk about. But he essentially didn't know much about the star, and then heard it, and then it's like, that's the Jordan rookie, really? And kind of going, but where was it? And just all these questions surrounding it. So that's why kind of this question mark thing. We don't get into any type of debate or anything, but he does kind of say, it's just kind of this mysterious thing. He doesn't care. He really has no dog in the fight, really. He does have an 86 Fleer autograph set. And I did want to say, if you do get to see this, that, and I said they model well, data model well, autographs do model out well. And he said, well, of course they're rare. And I actually didn't like interject or say anything, but that wasn't what I meant. I meant the fact that in modeling well, it isn't the fact of just scarcity. That's just population. Modeling well also means, that's definitely part of it, but it also means that people that aren't in the industry value autographs. So emerging things, when they come in to, if they enter the hobby, they don't have to discover that an autograph is valuable. There's things that you have to figure out and find out and be told what to collect, kind of. Like if someone just came into the hobby and never saw these two cards that you're seeing in front of you, they would have to be told which one was the value and the history behind it. Autographs, if you see a Michael Jordan autograph, a new person starts there. So kind of the emerging growth factor, it's baked in. So that's part of the modeling, but that's what I meant. So anyway, kind of a long rant, but just we just talk. There's no big thing. He does kind of throw a little an interesting breaking thing at the end for CT scanning and 86 Fleer. I thought that was interesting, so he'll throw that. But just kind of random back and forth fun. This is probably the most relaxed of the interviews I've done so far as just like talking and him asking questions. But I did want to say that he does represent this group that just doesn't know much and doesn't really care, and kind of what's in it. And I focus on that it's not just Jordan that kind of got legitimized. This is an NBA set that almost like comes into existence with that being legitimized. It's the NBA, basketball of those years. And that's kind of the big thing. You have a lot of collectors just going after NBA hoops. Oh, I have cards of that year. Awesome. So anyway, I'm just going to jump right in. And I did cut out kind of the starting because I give him a bit more background on me. He's seen a few episodes and stuff on my channel, but I kind of informed him of a few things, and then we kind of started getting going around here. So like, subscribe, enjoy, comment, let me know what you think, and I will see you at the next video. And by the way, Beckett, just Dr. Beckett, brilliant guy, great individual, mad respect for him. Going in, he took on the thing about, me disagreeing. I reached out, he did all this, and I got to a much better place. I actually came to a place of much better understanding. And he himself struggled with it. And one of the things he offered up is that he didn't want it labeled RC. He actually wanted it. He originally did it RC asterisk. And then because of the software upgrades, that forced him to remove the asterisk. So it would keep going that the asterisk should have been there. So it's never actually been like an RC completely solid. he himself struggled with the XRC designation, but he said it was the best place to do it, and you can pick at it. He even says you can pick at it.
All this stuff though, it's like it doesn't matter, man. Like the cars are going to be worth what people pay for, and the market's going to decide. And it's like, does the 51 Bowman and the 52 tops Mickey Mantle, right? It doesn't matter. What car's worth more? The one that maybe looks a little nicer and just how somehow got more notoriety through Fogel and other people, and that's his. It's not his rookie card, technically, the 52 tops, right? And 51 Bowman PSA 10, I don't know, what would that sell for? A couple million or something. 52 tops PSA 10 sell for 25 million. That's got 70 years of history. This has 40. We're probably, coming up against it. Another 20 years probably decide. And then we'll see what happens. But it doesn't matter because they're both valuable cards. And it's just like the most eye-opening thing for me was the scarcity, right? So like I didn't know much about 86 Fleer until I went and got the whole set signed because I was just like, F it, I'm gonna try to do this. And I didn't realize they made like 250,000 of each card. And I like scarce assets because I'm a vintage guy. Don't really touch modern. And I really like signed vintage. I almost have almost no cards unsigned in my collection. It's crazy.
Oh
So
wow!
if I think about that like scarce stuff, then I'm like, Star,
By the
wow,
way,
that's interesting.
autos model out very well for value over time.
Well,
Autos
it's just common sense. It's rarer. So especially if the guy's dead, right? This isn't like rocket science. This is not like
right.
the 8,000th version of a Wemby Prism. Like it's so stupid. But so like I started thinking like, wow, the star cards they only made like 3 to 5,000 of each. And I think of another comparison. I'm into the 1990 Skybox prototypes, which are extremely rare, probably even rarer than star cards because they were just sent to the hobby shops. That's it.
Hmm.
And I'm trying to get that set signed. And
Oh,
it just made
nice.
me think like, wow, Star, like there's 250,000 of each Fleer card, and there's only 5,000 of each Star card. That's a discrepancy that 99% of the population doesn't know. And when there's a knowledge gap like that, that gap can be exploited. And so I'm thinking like, now's the time to move. But then now I'm watching like the Jim Cramer type crap where, you know, PSA blesses this. Cool. If you knew that ahead of time, by the way, that'd be pretty sick insider trade, but no
Right.
regulation in cards, so we won't
Right.
go there. Um, maybe that got out, maybe it didn't. And then so you get this pump, right? Wow, they're like they figured it out. Like they can tell which ones are counterfeited and not in that second run. And then influencers start buying them. Prices go up, then they go down, then they brag about how much they made off of them. And it's all self-serving. It's like Jim Cramer saying, buy the stock, and the stock goes up, and then his charitable trust benefits, his newsletter benefits. So I just laugh at all of it. For me, I'm just trying to I like hoops a lot, and I like vintage hoops the most. I like vintage signed hoops. I've got a 101 in the wild I'm hunting down that's signed, and I want that damn thing. I'm not going to pay an arm and a leg for it, though. I'm going to try to get a good deal. But I think the whole, I want to get my hands on a 101 because I think it's the most iconic of the Stark cards. I don't like the Miller Time weird ones and that stuff, but it's
Upset ones.
also, it's like, it's scarce. And that worries me. It's much scarcer than like the 51 Bowman, I think, for Mantle.
It's
So
yeah, it's
much, much
pricey.
scarcer. And
Well,
like,
it's 1 to 2. There's two Bowmans for every 101.
yeah, so there you go. And Jordan is pretty damn iconic. You know what I mean?
Kind of.
So, but I mean, you're not going to lose long term with either card, like either 86 Fleer or the Star card. It's kind of silly to
I'll
be like,
talk to
ooh, this
that.
one.
Actually, let me interrupt you there.
All
Two
right.
points I can say to what you said so far on that 86 flare, the long-term value. Um, Both Beckett and I think that there's pressure on the 86 flare. He actually talked to that in my. He actually says it outright. He's all. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to see that you
Mm.
have a lot of people are now chasing the star card. And you have people who are calling into question the 86 Fleer as a early card, a third year. Um, And he mentions that. He said it doesn't take a rocket scientist to look at that. And he saw if this continues, you will see downward pressure on it. But let me back up to your bigger thing that you said. You said, what does it matter? That's a rookie. That's a rookie. Who cares? Who cares, right? You may not care. There's people who just collect rookie cards. And
Right.
for the
The set
people,
registries and everything.
there's two things at play. You got to remember, everyone's kind of missing the bigger point. Here it is that first of all, the NBA, by PSA grading them, it essentially is kind of legitimizing an NBA set. And
Mm.
you basically have an NBA licensed set now that almost kind of, in a lot of people's minds, poofs into existence. Don't think of it as Star. Whatever company did it, it could be Fleer. If I told you there was an 84 Fleer set and it was printed 1 to 100, and there's a complete set. By the way, it's 288 cards. Have you seen the set? It's beautiful. It
Mm.
is comprehensive. They have all bench players. It blows away the 86 Fleer as far as how many in the NBA. It comprehensively covers the NBA. So instead of looking at it from a player perspective, look at it from an NBA collector's perspective, where they go, oh my gosh, there's an 84 Fleer set. Why would I go and collect 86 if I can get one that's 1/100th? Star is just the NBA's vendor for trading cards at the time. That's it. So
Where
look
could
at
you buy these things? Could you get them at like drugstores and stuff
what
like that?
so distributors. I talked to do you know Steve Taff? Have you heard that
Mhm.
okay, so yeah, they got order forms. So dealers would get order forms. There would be distributors, and they would get
They go to the
basically
shops.
dealers, card shops. They would fill out these order forms, and they basically, but you could also, from what I understand, a lot of people actually just called up and said, can I get a couple of these sets? And they got them.
Okay.
So you could actually be anywhere in the United States, order it, and then get it shipped to you. So they were completely nationally distributed. It just wasn't to the level of 86 Fleer. It wasn't done to that.
You know what we need? We need a like a conclave. You know, like when a pope passes away, right? And all the bishops come from all the countries and everything. They pick a new pope until it could take 3 months. They have to pick a new pope. You know, we got to get while they're still alive, right? We got to get like Dr. Beckett. We got to get our star guy, Robert
Well, I
Levin.
did.
We got
That
to
was
get oh,
yeah.
we got
But
to get
that
them all in a room, man. We got to get Nat Turner. We got to
oh,
get
Nat Turner, yeah.
no, from the red because you brought up a great point. The registry gets all left up if like, you know, they have to decide on the set, right? So you need like a meeting of the gods, right? And then like the gods are going to say, okay, guys, here's what we're going to do. You know, we're going to do a registry run, you know, all Michael Jordan rookies, and it's like it includes this or not. Because I guess I mean it's just a silly game to me, but it matters to some people. Like I have stuff on the registry, so I respect that. It can this is probably confusing because it's
That's
like
exactly
multiple
it.
cards.
That's exactly the problem that I had. And if you watch the interview, so I have Steve Taft. There's the Victor, the rookie card specialist, Dave Denzel, who had the PSA 9 sale. Dave and I talk often, and I've actually talked to the buyer and a bidder for the PSA 9. So I kind of I know these people, but we had that was the interview. They're all in it, and it's Steve Taft and Jim Beckett for the first time ever recorded, on. So again, recommend just checking out even my recap, and you'll see what he says. Beckett talks about passing the torch. He said, I'm not the guy anymore. My rules, and if you date him, I'm not trying
Yeah,
to.
he likes to say that, but like it's his name, man.
I said
He's
that.
always, if he's breathing, he's the guy. Like he is. You know, he could come, like, you know, I talk about this with my co-host LZ all the time. Like Beckett's not doing great right now. Beckett has the name, and they should just. There's all sorts of things they could do. They could do price indexes like the stock market, and people would trust them because we all grew up with the price guides, you know.
Right,
So
right.
Dr. Beckett, he could if he really wanted to be aggressive with this, he could jump on, you know, any show or something like that and get real social and you know, connect with Nat. They could do a show together and like
He
he could do
doesn't
whatever he wants.
he
So
doesn't care. As he came to,
yeah,
he's like
exactly. That's the
he
bottom line.
his
He's like, whatever.
decision. What's funny is his decision, I get, and I understood it before. Now I really understand why he did it. It doesn't make like the classification, and but some people really care. Like if you think about it, the real reason I kind of got into it was because it was so much information. People have a vested interest in slamming Star and missing, and I heard so much that was
Why
untrue.
is that? Is it because it's like FOMO and they're not in it? They weren't in
No,
it
no,
early
no. I'm
enough?
talking about before Star started its
Oh, like
run.
back in the day.
People,
Gotcha.
yeah, well, even just like 7 months ago, you have people saying things about like, and I'll even throw it on this channel, or I'll throw it right now. You hear people talking about printing, like the printing plates are on eBay, the printing plates were stolen, the printing plates are here. And you know what's funny? And this is the first time I'm going to mention this. For all the people who are saying that in the comments, guess what? There are no printing plates for Star. They didn't use it in the printing process. People
There was
want
one counterfeit run though, wasn't there? This guy was on Jeff Wilson's show about the whole Star thing, and somebody got a hold of it and printed a bunch of counterfeits, and that was part of the issue with PSA not grading them. Or am I
to.
hearing that wrong?
No, I think what you're thinking of are the Home Shopping Network. Robert Levin, yeah, the story's incredible. This is also Star is unlike anything else, and it happens to be Jordan's rookie year that all this got involved. So it's just incredibly
It's like
big.
Wemby, man. His ear's all screwed up too, with like unlicensed cards. And anyway,
But no, Robert Levin is the founder of Star. Yes, but what he did was he created new cards and said that he created them back in '86.
wait. So he lied about the year that he created these new
Yes,
cards.
that's why
Can
the
you
NBA
tell? Can you tell the difference between these?
totally. They're like night and day. They're different colors, different.
Like just with your eyeballs, you don't need like a
Yep,
UV light or anything
they're
like
they're
that.
they're totally different colors. And
Is the 101 part of both runs?
no, no. The only
Huh.
thing he did it with, right? He did it with which would be considered the last year, the '85s. So
Okay.
there were some ones that he did it with that.
Why does the card say 85?
I don't know. I know I threw that at you. I'm like, this is how you refer to, and I'm sure you guys just rolled your eyes and you were like, it just is. It's the year that.
I'm just being an ass, you
No,
know.
no, no. Yeah, I know. It is funny. It's but 83,
Well, the NBA season obviously spans 2 years. It's like
right,
86, 87, 87,
right.
88.
So it's
Yeah.
84, 85. Technically, the correct
Yeah.
one would
So
be
they just
84, 85.
all
So
right. So that 101 then wasn't part of those future print runs. And even if it was, you could tell. So there, other than, was there any counterfeiting of it? Like there is with, I mean, 86 Fleer is like the most counterfeited card in
mhm,
existence. Is
yeah.
there counterfeiting like that with the 101s?
Yes, I've seen them. I've seen probably three different ones. The thing I know about, and I'm not going to say I now know some things that about the card
Good. You figured
itself
it out.
that not just figure I had to be told and things to look for that
All
are
right.
very helpful to anyone spotting. Most fakes I've ever seen, I have not seen one that you look at a 101 and you get the fake. They're so totally different. And that actually just made me a little upset on Dan the card man. He just put out this thing kind of saying pump and dump, and it's this stuff for everyone's wanting to say pump and dump without knowing much going on. They're saying institutional investors, and I have proof that it's not.
Well, you do have to look for bubble behavior. I have a video on this, like
Oh yeah.
how to know when you're in a bubble, right? Financial credit, tulips,
Uh-huh.
everything like that. This is a very fast run
Yep.
up for a card that's been
Absolutely.
around for 40 years.
Mhm.
And so anytime that you have, if you're a chart watcher, if you're a technical analysis guy in stocks, I'm not, I know a little bit. And you see movement like that, you look around, some of the signs of a bubble. I mean, one of the big ones is fraud. Um, so if you see a rise in fraud, that's typical indicative of a bubble. If you see like a rise in communications around something, that's indicative of a bubble. There has been a hell of a lot of social chatter around star cards. I didn't even know these things existed before 2 years ago,
Oh really? Oh
which is
wow.
that's on me, right? That doesn't judge the market, right? If I had been if I was a legit hoops collector, I probably should have. So pump and dump is the wrong word, but there is an absolute pump going on with people,
Oh,
and it's like if I own this, I mean, I don't know, if I own a particular card and I know I'm going to sell it or I want it to go up in value, I'm going to be like 1969 tops. This is the bomb. All signed 1960. You know,
so
you
much.
gotta have this. and then I'll go sell my set like a week later.
Right, right. Let me agree. First of all, I think a better term for it is FOMO is in full force.
Of course, I have
Yeah,
FOMO myself,
yeah.
but I'm 44 and I don't give in to my like FOMO desires. I'll never, overpay for a star card. I'm more of a treasure hunter anyway. I want to find somebody I can get a signed 101 for like 5 grand. That's how I roll. It's way too easy to go to an auction and buy something for 500 grand. That's lazy. I like to find the trailer
The
at a
hunt.
finds
Yep,
and
yep,
get my
yep.
deals. Like my signed 86 Fleer, I got that for 8,500 bucks raw in
Oh
Chicago,
wow.
and I got a
Wow.
slab. It's not worth
Nice.
8,500 bucks now. And
No.
but it
Yeah,
was a
that's
gamble. So that's my favorite part of the hobby is gambling. So but I'm never gonna see like, oh my God, this sold for like 900,000. I gotta get it right now. Never do that. I'll never
yeah.
do that. I'll just carefully watch.
If you watch and if you watch my channel, I do the one thing I do constantly call out. I say, you know what? If you're just buying this, if you're not going to love the card, which you would have gotten it a while ago, but if you're not going to love the
Yeah, of
card, I
course.
said hit pause. Don't buy it. I'm actually one. I've been probably for a good month now. I've been pushing back on people purchasing, quickly or anything. I'm basically saying, hey, really think about where this is. This was very undervalued before. If you watch my earlier videos, I've been
Yeah.
calling it since January. So it's from there. And I said, it's very undervalued. I just put out a video even yesterday. I said, guess what? It's not as undervalued, and now it's closer to fair. But this uptick has been so fast, you don't want to keep seeing this speed of increase. You want to.
Exactly. The speed is too fast.
It is.
It needs
It
to cool
is.
off. It will cool off, as
Mhm.
all charts do.
Yep.
You're a data guy. I'm sure you have the charts,
Yes.
which were actually pretty dope to see. But so, like I think net, honestly, if you're in the market for one, chill for a while. But for me personally, I actually thought about it because I solicited you to explore options. But then I thought about I had an 86 Fleer in a high grade. And I had it, and I'm like, I don't even like this card because it's not signed. I'm like a weirdo. Like I want stuff signed.
OCD. Yeah,
And
you
we're
have.
all weird. Like we're all
Yep.
collectors, right? So we have our weird spectrumy,
Totally. Yep.
stuff that we do. And I got rid of it because I was like, this is boring. And then I thought about the 101. I'm like, nah, man, I need to get a signed 101. And that's my plan. And I will treasure them both. I don't even know if they're going to go to my son because I'm sure I'll get one. And I'm going to say to him, I'm not going to be like, well, Gavin, this one's the XRC, this one's the RC minus. I'm just going to be like, dude, this is like the best basketball player ever. He transcends everything. Here's two awesome cards signed by him from the 80s. You
Right.
know, that's kind
Right.
of how I'll approach it. And yes, I have the 86 Fleer set. I would do Star if it wasn't like 300 cards. I have friends that are doing it and are very close to completing a signed Star set. They're just
Oh
missing like
wow.
Jordan and Tony and a couple others. But I just
Wow.
can't. That's just too many cards. It's
It
too many
is.
cards. I
Yeah.
can't do
Yeah.
it.
No, totally.
Maybe like the Hall of Famers or something like that is doable, where it's like 50, or something. But I don't know. Like I don't.
You
So
don't think
I
through this.
will get one. It's going to be signed, and I don't think I'm going to really care which
And
one
that's
is like blessed. You know?
what's actually I'm about to do kind of a shift after the Beckett thing. I kind of found my own peace, and it isn't the thing is the Star Run has given what I was more concerned. If that is your thing, like pack pull, if you go, I have to have it needs to be pack pulled for me to enjoy the card. I disagree
Oh,
that it
that's
makes,
cool.
but I
Pack
just,
pulled as in from a kid, or would you buy a slab, pack, crack it open?
well,
Does
no,
that count as pack pulled?
what I'm saying is if someone says I have to have a rookie card, my rookie card has to be a pack pulled card like the 86 Fleer, I'm saying
Oh, I see.
I disagree that that needs to
That's
be for
silly.
it to
That's
be.
just silly nonsense.
But you know what? If that's what makes you comfortable and makes you enjoy the card, go for it. Enjoy what you want to enjoy. And
We're gonna have this debate till the end of time.
yeah,
Like it doesn't. It's just never going away.
it
You're gonna
isn't
have
it
half people
totally.
or whatever saying.
Yep.
So you just have to. Again, you need like a conclave with like Nat, Dr. Beckett, and everybody just be like, everybody chill out, okay? Here's what we're gonna do with the registry. We're gonna have a parallel registry run for Jordan, and it's worth just as much. And I mean, that would solve some problems, I think, and
Well,
then
Nat Turner, I don't know if you know this, but Nat did say that the 84 star is the true rookie card. So he actually did come out and yeah.
there you go, man.
But
But it
to
doesn't
some
even matter.
people, well, it doesn't
It's
matter to
so
you,
funny.
but to some people who it does matter to, they only
Yeah,
collect rookie cards. Like me,
that
I'm a
does
set.
matter. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
important.
it
If
kind
you
of
collect
like
every rookie Hall of Famer, you're like,
right.
shit, like which one do I get? They're both quite expensive, and you can probably only afford one. And
Yeah,
so,
right.
it's
What do you
it's
think? And
tough.
so I'm more about like it's okay. Here's the thing why I'm kind of at a good spot now is that the hobby has at least gotten a lot more information and now they're more educated on it. And
Yeah, I am personally,
right, right.
like
Just for you, and just for you, your case in point, and it's basically like saying, okay, if you have all the information and you just come to the conclusion that you don't care, that's totally fine. But at least now you're not listening to a whole ton of Fleer people say, no, don't look at that. It's crap. That star thing is crap. Don't look at it. And the printing plates were stolen and they're fake. And it isn't real and it never has been real. It's stuff that you hear like that and you go, no, that's you're
well, it's
listening to
uneducated. I think so. You know what this starts with education, which your channel is great for. Um, but it can't just be all data. It's got to be, like that quote from Nat. You know what I mean?
I have
And like
that.
Dr. Beckett, and just getting that out there,
I did.
and just like teaching us, like
Mhm.
because, like I said, I barely remember. I was 4 years old when they came out, and I was six when 86 Fleer came out. I do remember buying 86 Fleer packs that like with gum and stuff. Wish I kept them, but and then
Right.
like I don't know, I didn't even know where you bought those cards. I wasn't going to hobby shops as a 4-year-old.
Right.
Like
I
maybe I
didn't
did
see
a
him
few
either.
times with my
But
dad, but
yeah, I wasn't collecting that either. Actually, I do have all that information. That's the thing. My channel isn't, it's talking, and you got to really like Star, and that's what. But I have him quoted several times. I have, different three people panels and everything where they're all coming out. One of the reasons you're hearing it is brokers and stuff. I have brokers. They're going on these interviews on different channels, and they're going, I think the 84 star is the true rookie card. The thing you're seeing on the quote unquote, the pump bubble hype, FOMO, whatever you want to call it, but the price increase, it's a perception shift, and that
hmm.
perception shift is creating excitement, and people are going, "Wow, wait, if this is the Jordan True Rookie card, and there's 1 to 50 of them, actually, if you do the math, it's like 1 to 200 that were produced, but there's one to
Whoa, 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 wait a second. So I thought there were 3 to 5,000 of each card.
there
You
are.
think that 101 is only 200?
No, 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 no. There was 3 to 5,000 produced.
Uh-huh.
No, what I'm saying is 1 to a 200
Oh,
ratio of
ratio, got it. The
86 Fleer.
250,000 to
Yeah.
5,000, that
So there's
ratio. Yeah.
right. The estimate I hear most for 86 Fleer is 500,000. So
Yeah.
Beckett, yeah, I don't know, 250
How
to
many are destroyed? How many, it's like,
right,
right.
right. Yeah, totally. And it's that ratio, but if you're looking at that and all of a sudden it's weird, it's like, what if I told you there's now an 83, 84, and 85 Fleer sets? And they're this low, and then there's a Jordan that's in each one, base card, base set. How
If I
would
was a Jordan guy, I'd probably want them all.
right.
I wouldn't discriminate. I just want them all to be
Well, now
safe.
here's the 86 Fleer. 86 Fleer, if you're going to call it a third year card, it is the most iconic. It is not just some normal third year card.
Yeah.
And it is the most iconic, popular. I think it might be the awesomest looking card. He has a few
That's why
others.
I like it. I think the card's awesome.
Oh, I
You
love it.
know,
I
it's
absolutely
like,
love it. Yeah, I got,
and then the 101, it's like, it's like rebounding. I mean, I made a funny skit about this, but like,
right.
it just
Yeah.
doesn't like pop to me, but it doesn't matter. Like it's still a nice, valuable card.
Yeah.
But I see what you're saying. You can be like, yeah, the 86 is like better looking and it's more iconic stuff, but the value is the value. The market will decide the value. It's like a stock, stock
Mhm.
pops, you have FOMO.
And you take the
It's
same position as Beckett, and here's my counterpoint. What I'm trying to say is, and this is where I'm a bit different than most all people. I don't. care about values. Don't look at it from a classification perspective. You now have an NBA set that is legitimized, and you now have what is, possibly the true rookie card and the only rookie card of Jordan. It hits major classifications without having to be tied to distribution models. And so if you have that, that's going to pique people's
There's only
attention.
a couple of ways to like enforce it, though. To actually make people. One way is the registry, um, and so that's given a lot of power to Nat. That's why I said we need a conclave. We like if Nat all of a sudden says like
Right.
Hall of Fame rookie run and he kicks out the '86 Fleer, holy crap!
Yeah.
So it's really on them. I mean, I guess Beckett to an extent, right? And because they have their own sort of pop reports, and SGC is now part of PSA, even though Nat on our show said they're going to keep the pop reports separate. It's yet another monopoly power PSA could have right now. They could just decide, like, could you imagine the value of Star tomorrow if Nat came out on a video? He sat down all formal with the PSA flag behind him, and he said, "All right, guys, this is really serious. On December 31st, 2024, we are no longer officially recognized 86 Fleer as the rookie card and
Right.
1984 Star. All registries will be updated on January 1st. Have fun, everybody." Could you imagine? That would be insane.
Oh my God.
So
Yeah.
there are ways to enforce it. That would be a way to change the market
Yep.
if he so chose.
Yep.
Not a random quote on somebody's show, but like a formal on PSA's YouTube channel, just like
Yep.
coming out.
And that's
That'd be
what
some wild shit.
Beckett and I do talk about enforcement actions. And that's what him saying. He's like, I'm not, and I pointed that out and he acknowledged, and actually he even said it, you were the enforcer at the time. And that was everyone's enforcement was a Beckett magazine. That was the word. There was no other word, other than what you read in a Beckett. No one else, that was it. That was the final say. And
Yeah,
he was the
that's all it
voice of the
was.
hobby, right? He was the absolute voice. And we don't have that anymore, except for, as I point in, PSA is the closest thing we have now.
So if him even better, you do that announcement, but Dr. Beckett is right next to him.
Yeah, right.
Oh my
I
God.
know, my
It's
God.
like, it's
Right.
over. It's
Yeah, I
over.
know.
So, like,
Yeah.
they still have the ability. The worst thing that could happen to this would be nobody does anything for 20 years, or whatever, and Dr. Beckett fades. Nat's not the CEO of PSA anymore. Some other grading company takes off, and it's just in disarray. You know what I mean? It's almost like now's the last chance to consolidate and decide. Kind of interesting.
Yeah,
A lot of
yeah.
power. A lot of power.
I know. And then, well, Beckett had the ultimate of all powers at that time. So that's
Yeah.
why, and it's so different now with so much information and you have some things, but really PSA is kind of it. And that's kind of the spot now. So it's for him not turning to say that and then legitimize it, that was as good as it kind of got. But I don't know, like, I point to it. I showed this to Cajun. You can't really see it, but right above my finger is a Beckett magazine where they basically came out in October, probably about 4 months after, not by coincidence, 4 months or so after PSA's announcement, maybe 5 months, and they said, wait, star cards are real and they're spectacular. So if you want to check the October 2022
That
issue,
reminds me of the Seinfeld skit. They're real and they're spectacular.
yeah, that's it. And yeah, right. Cajun said the same thing. Right. And that's basically the 1-2 punch kind of there, kind of started that role. And then the social, once it grew, and then the videos, and then Nat saying that, and then seeing all the other social media, that's what,
Interesting stuff, man. It's going to be
right.
fun to see what happens.
It's all supply and demand. I put out yesterday I said if you want to see when this is going to stop, watch supply. If you go to Alt and you do a search and you pull in because Alt will pull in from the multiple auction houses, do a search for 1984 Star Jordan 101 and you'll see it pulls in from a few spots. So I started tracking this. You can watch my video, my auction videos. I was tracking this from I think February. I started doing my auction stuff, and every week I put one out. and you'll see it was at like 63 to 70. I can't totally remember, but that's the results that you used to get. And I actually kind of called when it kicked off and I said, wow, supply is just falling, falling, falling. For a few weeks, it just started going. Everything started shrinking. And I
Hmm.
noted that on my channel and said, supply fell. It's fallen now to about this 20-ish range. And it's been there for months now, for like probably, it goes from like 16 to 27 kind of thing. For about 4 or 5 months. So maybe 4 months
Interesting.
it's
I was
been.
just on Google Trends right now. That's my trusty thing. I love Google Trends to like check out different players. There's just not even enough search traffic for this. So all of this market stuff is happening within the collector communities, all eBay stuff like that. There's
Mhm.
really not a ton of like Googling of like 1984 star research there. Maybe there is on Reddit, but not a ton. Very cool. Very interesting, man. I mean, for me personally, I've got the 86 Fleer set signed.
That's amazing.
Not like that's going to my son, not flipping that. Like, it's all
Yeah.
good. So I'll always have that. And then 84 star again, if it was a smaller set, I would get it, probably attempt to get it signed, but it's too big. So I think, and I would get a 101, but it's too boring without a signature. So I got to get that unicorn, which is a signed 101. It's
Hmm.
going to be really interesting.
There's that one up, yeah, the one up in Golden, I think right now it's I think it's a 9 auto and a 7.5, I want to say just off the top of my head. And I believe that's at 160,000 right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna try. Like I said, I'm gonna try to spend 5 grand on mine. We'll see. The card looks good too. The card could be an 8. The signature's so bad though. It's like I think did I show this to you? I
Hmm.
feel like I showed you this card that I'm hunting. This signed 101. This it's literally sitting in a binder.
Yeah,
I
I
might
think
have showed you,
yeah, I
but
think you did. Yeah.
the signature's bad. It's real. I've gotten 7 other MJ's stuff signed from this guy, and it's all good.
Uh-huh.
But it's probably gonna fail PSA and pass Beckett. And the card could be an 8, but the sig's gonna be like a 6, man. It's
What's the
crazy.
I don't track autos as much, actually not much at all. What's the price discrepancy between PSA and a Beckett for
Huge. I would say it could be 20 to 30% on a signed Jordan card. The PSA
really? Okay.
slab, because it's the registry. It's driven by that. It's driven by they're a bit stricter. They failed. Actually, no, they didn't fail. I went straight to Beckett with that signed 86 Fleer because I knew PSA's got issues with their autographs. Nat's looking into it now. They're just terrible right now. They're just failing and charging and everything. But anyway, I went to Beckett first because I knew I had a better shot there. It passed. I tried to cross to PSA and they said inconclusive. But I mean, the thing's good. So I don't know. I'll try it like next year's national. But when you start shipping around a $50,000 card, it's like, you start playing games. It's like not
Yeah.
fun. So I'll carry that to the national, maybe try again, get like a second opinion or something. But I'm happy. The only problem is the entire set is dual graded, new label PSA, except I have and even the sticker Jordan, but the 86 Fleer is in a Beckett slab, and it's like it's really annoying. But I
Ah,
asked my son who's gonna inherit this, I'm like, do you care? He's like, Dad, these are all so cool. So you gotta put that 9-year-old perspective sometimes.
right. You got to take your OCD off. It's hard to take
Yeah.
your OCD off.
He's like, dude, this is cool. It's a different
Yeah,
slab.
that is cool. Wow.
All right.
Is there any question that you have or anything that wasn't covered that you can think of that you want to, or
How
you
many
might even say,
101s raw still exist in this world that are not like in collectors' hands? 2,000, 200,
Mhm.
4,000. What do you think?
As far as raw Jordans, my guess, other than bags, the only thing that's out there I'd say was raw bags is probably, I would easily say less than 50.
In
But
attics and random places and stuff like
yeah,
that.
50 that are real. Bags, definitely. You probably have,
Yeah, you can buy the team bags. I've seen those at auctions.
yeah, yeah. But for raw, the thing is it's been valuable for so long. It's been valuable for 40 years. Not like all of a sudden this is new. Now it's just to extreme heights.
Do the bags have like a guaranteed 101 in a certain bag?
The the
Like if you
bag
buy a
has
Bulls bag, does it have the 101 in it?
it's on top. Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, the Jordan's on top for a Bulls bag. So
Okay.
yeah, you'll notice it immediately, and you can see the condition. So it's on a team bag for the
Cool.
Bulls. Um, yeah, you'll
All right.
see it. So just look up 84 team bag, but they're not cheap. I'll just say
Well,
that.
thank you. Yeah, no, well, because you're guaranteed to buy the card. I was going to say the CAT scanning company. This is actually a little bit of a news break. They can see vintage. They can see 86 Fleer. So I thought that
Oh
was interesting. But if the
wow.
card's on top, it doesn't matter. So there you go.
Oh
I sent them
wow.
a pack to test. I'm going to share the results soon. They can
Oh.
see. They can see if there's a Jordan in there
And
through
actually
a box or a
And
pack.
actually, I'm going to send that. You've been doing great on that CT scanning. You blew up on everything I watched everywhere, and they all pointed to you and whatnot. So props for all the work there.
I'm
That
just
was
trying to help. People hate me for it, but I'm just trying to tell you what's been going on. Like
right,
whoever's in the public, it's usually a 10-to-1 ratio. So these guys are public. There's nine others.
right,
They're not talking.
right.
So
You're just calling it out. No, that's what's awesome to see, and you're trying to put some stuff out there that people need to see and they need to hear, whether they like it or not, and it's
right,
there. And I know that
right
that
on, man.
hurts some people for sure, but that's it's just facts and that's information, and that's what you need to needs to be
Right
out.
on, man. Right
So
on,
yeah,
dude.
keep
Thank
doing.
you. I'm gonna send you a pic of that card again and wish me luck on my chase.
Yes, good luck, man. That's definitely yeah. You're definitely after the goods. That's for sure. And I
Treasure hunting. That's
oh,
why
it's
I'm
so
in the
fun.
hobby.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, a lot of fun. So cool. Really
Awesome,
appreciate
Ryan.
really appreciate it, man. And yeah, if anything comes up topic wise, I'll reach out and then I'm sure we'll chat about it.
I like the jersey, by the way.
I threw it on for you. I wore this in one of the Beckett ones too.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Sweet, dude.